Yesterday, I was watching Sodapoppin, and he's doing this World of Warcraft challenge with a bunch of other streamers, and he linked a spreadsheet. Now, what caught my attention with this spreadsheet was this A column, checking to see if a channel is live or not. I thought this was very cool, and I wanted to see if I could replicate it. So, since I don't use Google Sheets, I use Excel, I went like any normal person and asked ChatGPT how to do that. And of course, because it tells you everything, it says come into extension and go to app script. So as you can see here, I've started a blank project. All I have is Sodapoppin because I want to be able to check the name. And now we can actually type code. Next, I had ChatGPT just make the code for me because I can't be asked to do my 1000th Twitch implementation again. So here's that code. And we're going to go through this line by line because it is good to know how these APIs work. It's just one of those things that it becomes so tedious that this is where AI really comes into its own. So starting at the top, you can see here you need a client ID and a client secret. Well, you would obtain both of these from the Twitch developer forums. You register your application, and then when it asks you for your OAuth redirect, you just say localhost. Here is your client ID that you're going to need. So we're going to copy that. And then you're going to say generate new secret for your project, and it will generate you a secret. Great. Now we have those two aspects, and we can keep moving forward. ChatGPT was smart. It checked to see if a channel name was even provided, which would come in with the function. So no channel name provided means you can't call it. That's good. Next is the OAuth. So as we look over here at the Twitch API documentation, you can see here there's a bunch of different type of authentication flows, implicit, authorization. Here we're going to use the OAuth client credentials. This is an access token only, and it requires no actual interaction with the user. This is server to server, which is perfect. So we're going to use the OAuth token, and then we have to provide, if we look into the details of it, so you click on client credential flow, it'll tell you here you need to provide your client ID, your client secret, and then grant type needs to be client credentials. And it should look like this. And as we come back here, we can see ChatGPT has put that in, and it just concatenated all the strings together to make one big thing. And then options is post, and that comes from up here where it says to get access to the token, send an HTTP post request. So we have to include that with our fetch. Next, we're going to use the fetch API to go send the URL, and we're going to get our access token back, which you can see you are provided in the response object. With our credentials all given and our access token received, we can now start checking channel statuses. We're going to come into this API Twitch/Helix. Helix is the API version name. So this is version 6, which they're calling Helix. Version 5 was Kraken. And then streams user login. And if you're wondering where we got that, we come into the Twitch API. We're still in the developer forum. We come back into this list here. You can see there's a whole bunch of things you can look for, but we're going to do streams. We're going to do get streams. And here is that same URL that you're seeing ChatGPT use. And then we're going to use user login. So we're going to provide their name. And using their name, we're going to encode their channel name. We're going to say our client ID, and we're going to give our authorization token with the OAuth token that we received back. Then after that, we're going to send the fetch. The fetch is going to send back the user's object for their channel. And we're going to see if the results data, which comes back from here, you can see the object returned is data, and it gives us all this stuff in it. We're going to see if it's truthy and if the number of things inside of it is more than 0. And if that's more than 0, then it's live. And if not, then it's offline. With all of that said, let's title this project. We're going to call it Live Check. Okay. We're going to come back here and we're going to do equals check. What's our function name? Check Twitch status. So we're going to do check Twitch status. And we're going to pass in A1. Okay, and it's going to load, and it's going to say offline, which is correct. If we look at the top here, we see Sodapoppin is not currently online. But one thing you might have noticed is when I clicked equals in check, it never showed up. Well, how do you get it to show up as an auto function? That is where Stack Overflow came in, because somebody had the exact same problem, and I came down and they said here in the JS docs at custom function tag needs to be used. So coming into the custom function tag, this is the documentation for it. It tells you everything you need to do to make it a custom function. So you need to add these parameters, and we are going to come back. So our param is going to be a string, which is the channel name coming in. Our return is going to be the live of the channel status, whether it's live or not. And then we're going to say it's a custom function. So click save again. Now when we come back, we hit equals, type in CHE, check Twitch status. Here we go. And then A1. And we load it up again and it shows us offline. Let's check, see if it works with somebody else. We have Emaru here. Let's check Emaru. So Emaru. And we'll just drag this formula down. And you can see no channel provided also triggered properly, and Emaru is live. There you guys have it. That is how you check to see if a channel is live using the Twitch API in Google Sheets. Hope this video helped you. If it did, hey, hit that sub button. If it didn't, hey, hit that sub button and leave a comment. And I'll see all of you on the next video. Bye.